All right, welcome to the new RV.
And we'll share more about that in next video, so subscribe. But needless to say, we have a brand new RV. And because we do, we wanna make sure that we are setting things up correctly. And for a while, we have been wanting to kind of update our water filtration system. So that is what we're going to do today, but we're really excited because Blue Technologies sent us a whole water filtration system to set up and test.
And water softener.
But the reason I'm really excited is because they actually have a new feature that nobody else right now is doing in the RV space when it comes to this.
It's this thing right here, guys.
But
this is the coolest thing.
We'll tell you about that a little bit more later on in the video. Really, this is kind of like a test thing, right? So we're setting this up, we're gonna test it out, and we're gonna let you know our real world thoughts on if this is worth the money, all of that a little bit later in the video. So let's get started. This is the water filtration from Blue Technologies. So we're gonna get this set up and ready to rock and roll in the RV. One of the things that I do like about this particular company with Blue Technology is it is veteran owned and operated. And so we always like to be able to support those types of organizations when that's an option for us to do so. One of the things that we like about this system, just out of the box, is it is a 4-stage system, which is a little bit different than some of the other filtration systems that are out there. So your first stage with your first filter here, where it says longevity, this is basically the filter that's gonna filter out like the major things, right? So like your sediment, iron, just the major particles. So that filters it out in the first stage, which then puts you into the second stage that is able to filter out more things. Now, the reason that this needs to filter out the major stuff is also so it doesn't cause any damage to this next stage here. This filters out a lot of the different types of potential microplastics that can be in water, but there was something else that I thought was really cool, and I'm going to reference my notes here on this because I don't want to get this wrong. There's something called PFAS that it's estimated that up to 45% of tap water can contain this PFAS. And basically what that is these are chemicals that are known as like forever chemicals that then like they started using back in the 40s. They didn't know a lot about it. It's one of those things you really want to try to avoid, obviously, when you can. And so this actually will help to filter out any of those types of things, in addition to the other things that you typically think about, like with chlorine and things like that, that you don't want into your water. Now, the last stage is where I think it's pretty cool because it's actually using UV to make sure that that water is completely filtered and everything like that. And so it's going to go through all 4 stages then before that it even comes in to our RV. And so obviously that is important. The UV is actually going to filter out 99.9% of microorganisms. So things like bacteria, viruses, cysts. It's basically a chemical-free way of like water purification. We have tried some of the other really low micron, right? So this is supposed to filter out to 0.02.
Yeah.
Microns. Now we've tried some other filters that are just like your screw-on filters that are supposed to take you down to a very low micron level. And what we found when we tried those filters in the past is it actually created a lot of water restriction. And so here's the deal. You guys know how it is in an RV, right? Already you're trying to shower, and if there is a restriction and a loss of water pressure, that just makes that experience even more horrible. The thing is that this is going through this whole filtration stages and system and setup without causing any sort of water restrictions. And so we're really excited to be able to test it out too. Water leak detection. So you know, if you've been watching this channel, that we've been using the Govee water leak sensors, but Blue Tech has something brand new with that. So we're gonna get to that a little bit later in the video as well. So I guess the next step would be to get rocking and rolling, and let's start to hook this up. And then here's the other thing too. It's supposed to be a really easy setup. So we're gonna go through it and we'll tell you our real world thoughts here in just a few minutes on how easy it is or isn't.
Okay, and then one thing I did want to mention is Blue does include with this a bunch of accessories, including hoses. One thing I am noticing in here is one of the steel braided hoses. It has maybe a little short, but they do have a bunch of accessories on their website. You can get longer hoses or different accessories to hook up your own hose to it. These quick connects are amazing. As you guys know, I always have loved these quick connects. So the first thing we're gonna do is we wanna hook up the water softener first before the filtration system because you want to get a lot of that sediment taken care of with the softener before going into your filter. We're gonna basically flush this out first because you're supposed to run it a little bit and then hook it up to the filter and then hook the filter up to the RV.
So to remove the canisters, like when you do need to change out the filters, just has this little tool. So super easy, compact to put in the RV.
Okay, good. So it did turn it off. Did it stop the water?
It won't come out.
Oh.
It stopped the water.
It did stop the water. So we need to clear it. And by just hitting open again.
I don't know, maybe dry this off.
Okay, I just held down the open button again. Oh, and you can connect that to Wi-Fi. They'll have an app.
The other thing is that this has like an internal battery. So you basically, like right now we have it plugged into the RV like power. So if there is a power loss to the RV, but this gets wet, it has an internal battery to still be able to shut off the water. Nobody else is doing this right now. It'd be lovely if maybe RV manufacturers would consider doing something like this on the long term. If there is one accessory I would say could be a potential lifesaver, this would be it.
For those of you in the camp that feel that you need to turn off your water whenever you leave the campground, there is a key fob for you folks. You can say, turn off. Beep, hear that?
This would be a really good April Fool's joke if like your spouse is taking a shower and you're just sitting there on the couch and you shut off the water and they'd be like, hey, where's the water? You're like, I don't know. Say the magic words.
Beep, beep, beep.
Here is our honest take on the Blue Tech water system. So one, it is pretty easy to set up. Like it's intuitive. There's not a lot of complication. I mean, it's pretty much plug and play, you know, flush it, hook it up and you're good to go. The quick connects makes it really, really easy to, you know, put everything together. Now, my favorite accessory is actually the carry bag that it comes with so that you can put this in your carry bag in whatever, you know, storage compartment that maybe you're wanting to store it. Maybe you would want to install it permanently too, if that is an option. This whole thing, I mean, just, it's very, very robust. It's made out of all metal. So just one of those you get what you pay for kind of things. I personally have to say like the water stop thing, probably my favorite piece of this whole setup, just with that particular technology and the peace of mind that you have, knowing that when you're away from the RV, if something happens, you've got that. The other thing is because this is a little bit more than some of the other filtration systems out there, Blue Technologies has given us a 7% discount. So we'll have all of that info in the description below. We'll put it on the screen. There'll be a QR code on the screen too that you can scan for all of that. Let us know what's going on with you guys when it comes to all of your water setup stuff. Let's have a little discussion in the comments below and we'll catch you in the next video.